Welcome back to MyLingua Podcast. Today we're doing something special. Sofia and I are going through the Big 100, the ultimate phrase list for any social situation. We've broken them into 20 bite-sized scenes. Sofia, you ready for the marathon?
Let's do it. 100 phrases, no stopping.
Sofia, first impressions are everything. You've just walked into a room full of strangers. How do you break the ice? I'll start simple with, "Hi there, I'm Sofia. How's it going?" If I want to be a bit more formal, I'd say, "I don't think we've met yet. I'm Sofia." If I see a group, I'll ask, "Mind if I join you?" I can also comment on the environment. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" Or ask, "Have you been to one of these events before?" Good. Now let's find out why they are here. You need to establish the context without sounding like you're interviewing them. Right. At a professional event, I'd ask, "How are you enjoying the conference so far?" To keep it friendly, I can compliment them. "That's a great accessory. Where did you get it?" If it's crowded, I'll say, "Busy in here today, right?" I also like, "What brings you here today?" Or a personal connection, like, "Are you a friend of Alex?" Now let's get a bit more personal. How do you find out about their background? I'd ask the classic, "So, what do you do for a living?" If I'm curious about their origin, I'll say, "Are you from around here?" Or, "How long have you been in London?" I can also share my own feelings. "I've heard so much about this place." Or, "Is this your first time at this venue?" Sometimes the best way to bond is to admit you're a little lost. Try that. I love that. I'd say, "I'm still trying to find my way around." To find out more about the host, I'd ask, "What's your connection to the guest of honor?" For work topics, "Do you work in the tech field?" I can also introduce my team. "I'm here with a few colleagues from MyLingua," or comment on the journey. "It's a bit of a trek to get here, wasn't it?" Now, Sofia, show them you've done your homework or that you're happy to be there. I'll use, "I've been looking forward to this all week." If we've only emailed, I'd say, "Nice to finally put a face to the name." I can mention, "I think we have a few mutual friends on LinkedIn," or "I've seen your posts online." And if they spoke earlier, I'll compliment them. "That's a really interesting point you made earlier." And what if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed? Vulnerability can be a bridge too. I'd just be honest. "I'm a bit nervous, to be honest." I can also use, "Small world, isn't it?" Or, "It's great to meet a fellow photography enthusiast." If I'm unsure, I'll ask, "You look familiar. Have we met before?" And finally, to state my goal, I'm looking to meet people in the design industry. The intro is done. Now, how do you keep the conversation from dying? I need open-ended questions. I'll ask, "What do you like most about your job?" Or, "How did you get started in that?" To see the real side of things, "What's the most challenging part of the project?" For small talk, "Do you have any big plans for the weekend?" And, "What do you do for fun when you're not working?" Then, to move the conversation away from just work, I'll ask, "Have you traveled anywhere interesting lately?" For current topics, "What's your take on the new AI trends?" I love asking for advice. "Can you recommend any good spots for brunch?" Or for backstories, "What's the story behind that?" And if they're busy people, "How do you find the time for all of that?" Listening is more important than talking. I'll use phrases like, "That sounds incredible," or the surprised, "No way, you're joking." To show empathy, I can totally see why you'd feel that way. Or, "That makes perfect sense." And to keep them talking, "Tell me more about that." And what about when the topic is more serious or impressive? I'd say, "I've never thought about it like that before." If they share a struggle, I can imagine that was difficult. For surprises, "Wait, really?" And for simple praise, "That's so cool," or "I'm impressed." Sofia, don't just jump from topic to topic. Use a bridge. How do you transition? I'll use, "That reminds me of," or "Speaking of the weather, have you heard?" If it's a coincidence, "Funny you should mention that." If I have a specific thought, "Actually, I was just wondering about," or simply, On a related note, how do you show them that you share their experience? I'll say, I've actually had a similar experience. To get their view, I'm curious, what's your opinion on? To pivot slightly, changing gears for a second, did you see? I can also say, I've always wanted to try that, or humbly, to be honest, I'm still learning about that. Finalize the thought. Show them you're on the same page. I'll compliment their drive. You seem very passionate about this. I'll ask, I'd love to hear your perspective on, and for total agreement, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm with you on that one, or a polite, correct me if I'm wrong, but... Sofia, don't just stand on the edge. To join a group conversation naturally, you need a hook or a polite request to enter. How would you start? If I want to join politely, I'd say, mind if I jump in here? Or if I've been listening from the side, I can use, I couldn't help but overhear you talking about... To be more direct, I'd ask, are you guys talking about the game? If I'm really excited, I'll go with, I've been dying to join this conversation. And if they are mid-sentence, I'll say, sorry to interrupt, but I just had to say. Perfect. Now remember, a great guest helps others feel welcome. Your job is to connect people. What phrases help with that? To introduce people, I'd ask, have you two met each other? And then follow up with, Mark, meet Sarah, you both love jazz. To bring someone new into the loop, I'd say, we were just discussing the menu, what do you think? And to keep the bond strong, I'll use, that's a great point, Mark, or I agree with what Sarah just said. High energy is key here. Keep it light and focus on the atmosphere. Give me some examples. I can start by being generous. Let's get a round of drinks. If I like the music, I'll say, this song is such a classic. To comment on the mood, I'd use, the vibe in here is fantastic, or I love what they've done with the lighting. And for any celebration, I'll just say, cheers to that. It's loud and busy, Sofia. Don't get flustered. How do you handle it when you can't hear someone? I'll simply say, sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Or, can you say that one more time? I can also blame the noise by saying, it's a bit loud in here, isn't it? If it's too much, I'll suggest, should we find a quieter corner? And if I need a break, I'll say, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna grab some water. Last step, keeping the group organized and moving. Show me your logistics toolkit. I'd ask, who else is here with you? To meet their friends. I can compliment the host with, this is a great turnout. If I'm leaving the room, I'll say, I'm gonna head to the balcony for some air. And ask, does anyone else want anything while I'm up? Oh, and if there's a celebration, I'll shout, make way for the birthday girl. Leaving is an art. You want to leave them wanting more, not feeling rejected. How do you start the goodbye?
I'll start with kindness. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. To be polite about their time, I don't want to take up all your time. If the room is busy, I'm going to go circulate a bit more, but I'll see you later. I can also say, I should probably go find my friends, or I'll let you get back to your drink. And the final click, how do you close the door? To stay in touch, let's exchange numbers and keep in touch. If I'm leaving the venue, I have to head out now, but it was great meeting you. I'll end with, enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care and hope to see you again soon. And a simple classic, catch you later. And that's 100. Sofia, you did it. 100 modern phrases to conquer any social situation, from that first hi to the final goodbye. Phew, that was a real workout, Alex. But I feel so much more confident now. These aren't just words. It's like having a map for the social jungle.
Exactly. Remember, guys, you don't have to memorize all 100 at once. Come back to this drill whenever you need to warm up before a party, a meeting, or a trip abroad.
If you enjoyed this practice session and found it helpful, please subscribe to the MyLingua channel. We have so many more interesting topics and drills coming your way, and we don't want you to miss any of them. Hit that notification bell so you're always the first to know when a new lesson drops. Thank you for practicing with us today.
You're doing a great job on your English journey. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll see you again very soon. Catch you later. Bye-bye.